What's up, Met fans? Welcome back. Talking Mets with Rob. How's everybody doing? Before I get started talking about the latest Mets trade rumors regarding Jose Berrios, don't forget, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit on that like button. If you enjoy my content, want to see more, want to get notified when I post my videos, when I go live, hit on that subscribe button, everybody. I want to thank you guys for all the support. A lot of subscribers over the last 24 hours because of the Chris Bryant video. I really appreciate it. But let's get into why Jose Berrios is a topic today. Well, firstly, with Jose Berrios, we heard that the Mets are interested with Josh Donald and Jose Berrios. That was probably the only way the Mets would take on Josh Donaldson is if they get Berrios in return. But when you come to think about it, what if the Mets just get Jose Berrios on their own, on his own? No Donaldson, nobody else, just Berrios. And the reason why I talk about that is because about a tweet earlier today from John Harper of SNY states in his tweet that Mets pitcher coach Jeremy Hefner has recommended Jose Berrios strongly to the front office based off of his work with him in Minnesota. So there's already a relationship between Berrios and Hefner. That's one big thing. And obviously, the front office decided to put Hefner on this team as a pitching coach, so they do trust him. So it is something to look at because I didn't think that Berrios would come by himself unless Donaldson was in his deal. But if Hefner is strongly pushing the front office and Sandy Alderson to get Berrios, it's obvious that Hefner wants him. Obviously, Berrios is a good pitcher. We're going to go over his stats. We're going to go over his contract. We're going to go over everything we need to know of why the Mets can possibly get him, but also how much can he help this team. And with Jeremy Hefner, with that report, now, granted, where did John Harper get this information from? Look, John Harper's been around. He has his sources within the team, within Major League Baseball. He might have a relationship with Jeremy Hefner. We don't know. But there was a tweet today regarding John Harper, as you saw right there, about him strongly preferring and pushing the front office to get Jose Berrios. The problem with that, there's two of them. It's going to cost a hell of a lot in regards to prospects. Number two, do we really need a top-of-the-rotation type of guy like Berrios? Because we do have Walker, who's been a number two. I think the Mets have to go along the lines of a number three or number four, like a Kyle Hendricks. But if the Mets can pull off a Jose Berrios, nobody can complain about it. But what are you willing to give up for Jose Berrios that is worth giving up for a top-of-the-line rotation type of starter in Jose Berrios? And we're going to go over his stats just now so we can look at how much is he really going to cost, because he's pitching well, and we're going to look at it just now. But are you willing to give a Mauricio up, a JT Ginn? You know, JT Ginn's been thrown around in the Bryant deal. In basically every deal that you heard, JT Ginn is part of that deal. So he's a very popular prospect in the Mets organization. But are you be willing to give up Mauricio, who does not have a position on this team? Everybody keeps on talking about Mauricio hitting. He's doing great in the minors. Blah, blah, blah. And I say that with a little bit of sarcasm only because Mauricio only plays shortstop. If the Mets thought he can play third base or even second base, they would be playing him there right now, knowing that Lindor is the shortstop for the next 10 years. You can't keep on leaving Mauricio in short and expect him to come up in the majors and play third automatically or play second automatically when he never played it before. That's the biggest issue. And that's why I think Mauricio, as much as you think he's not untouchable, he is touchable, especially if it's for a guy like Jose Berrios. That's the guy I'll be willing to give up Mauricio for, Jose Berrios. So it could be a Mauricio and a Ginn, a Mauricio and a Vientos. Players like that. With Berrios, you can think of so many options, but Mauricio is going to be a part of that deal. Obviously, Alvarez is an untouchable, and Beatty's an untouchable. and possibly Matthew Allen's an untouchable too, which I think he is. But Mauricio is not untouchable. It was clear signs that when the New York Mets traded for Lindor and then signed Lindor, and then you could see the proof on paper. You could see the proof in the pudding. When the Mets did not move Berrios to third base and second base, it showed you that they're using Mauricio as trade bait for a big-time blockbuster trade. It's just obvious. He is more valuable as a shortstop to many teams, especially this year when a lot of teams that need shortstops are going to be fighting to sign all these shortstops that are available in free agency after this year. So wouldn't somebody want a Mauricio who is probably going to be in the majors next year and projected to do that? A team will like that control and like the projections of his stats and how good he can be at shortstop. So he's more valuable at shortstop, and I think that's the reason why the Mets are keeping him there, and they don't want to mess with him because he is a valuable trade asset for many teams. And that is the biggest reason why the Mets have not changed him, because they don't want to mess with him knowing that he's doing so well in the minors right now. So when it comes to Berrios, let's look at his stats this year and going forward. This year, he is 7-3 with a 1.7 WAR, 3.48 ERA. By the way, that is his best ERA so far in his career. That we'll look at the rest of his career, but we will look at this year. 3.48 ERA, which is the best of his career so far. 18 games, 108.2 innings pitched, 114 strikeouts, and he has a whip of 1.095. That is very, very good. And he struggled a little bit early, but over the last month or so, he's been really coming on, pitching like the Jose Berrios that we know. Also, which is very interesting to look at too, and I was looking at this with his stats over the years. Now, he is only 27 years old, going to be 28 soon. The good news, and what I like about this, is that you look at his career ERA. It basically got better every year, from his second year to his third year to his fourth year, and so on. He struggled a little bit in 2020, but again, there was a lot of people that struggled in 2020. But I like to look how good he's doing this year. He has the best ERA of his career at this moment. Obviously, it can change, but he is pitching well. I really think that the Mets, if they really want this guy, if Jeremy Hefner has some pull in the organization, and the front office believes in him, then you go get Berrios. If it takes a Mauricio, if it takes a Zappucki, it takes a Jin, it takes a Vientos to get him, you go get him. The reason why for that too, we have to go back to look at his contract status. What is it right now? He has a contract right now at the age of 27 of $5.6 million with a $500,000 bonus, which brings it all the way to $6.1 million. And then he is arbitration eligible, which is his last year of arbitration in 2022. So the Mets get a year and a half of Jose Berrios, and then he becomes a free agent at the age of 29, which is still somewhat young for a pitcher. You don't mind giving him a 6 or 7 year deal if he's very good, because you still get about 3 to 4, maybe even 5 years of his prime before he breaks down in the later years of his contract. So when you look at Jose Berrios and Jeremy Hefner, who wants Jose Berrios, who has a relationship with him, and it will cost us. It will cost us a Mauricio. It will cost us Vientos. It might even cost us a little bit more. But if you want Jose Berrios on his own and still want the Mets to go get Chris Bryant, which I do, you're going to have to give up a nice, handsome amount to pry him from the Minnesota Twins. Jose Berrios is an all-star type pitcher. He can be dominant. He is the ace of the Twins staff. But when he comes over here, he's going to be number 2. So the spotlight will be on him because it's New York. But the pressure will be a little bit less on him because you got DeGrom in front of him. Not only that, Luis Rojas with the Latino relationship that they will have, because that is a big deal. If you don't think it's a big deal, it absolutely is. I can tell you right now, it is harder for certain Latin players to be comfortable around a management and something that's going on like in Minnesota. He's been pitching well, but I only think he'll be better with Rojas by his side. I think that's a big deal, and I think it's influential, and it can only help Berrios, in my opinion. But with Jose Berrios, do you think, I'm asking you guys, do you think the Mets have what it takes to get Jose Berrios? I say yes, but are you willing to give a Mauricio away? Are you willing to give a Vientos away? Are you willing to give 3 top 15 prospects for Jose Berrios for a year and a half that's left on his contract? I would do that only because the Mets this year shown that pitching and defense wins you ball games, because clearly the offense has not done the job for the New York Mets, and is why Chris Bryant is a big part of this, because I think that's who they should get number 1. But priority number 2, if they can get Berrios, that is a tough rotation to mess with in the playoffs. Tell me what you guys think. Who do you think should be in a deal for Berrios? Do you think the Mets will go after Berrios and do everything they can to get him? Let me know, guys, in the comments. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit on that like button. If you enjoy all my content, want to see more, want to get notified when I post my videos and when I go live, hit on that subscribe button, everybody. I always want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, guys, hit on that like button, hit on that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments what you think. I really appreciate it, guys. And as always, Met fans, let's go Mets.